pre-show.
Okay, so
So whatever you say, the
we're
people
we're
are
on
hearing.
we're on the air. Okay, but we're not on yet, guys. I'm
You,
gonna go and put this on my Facebook page.
okay, Twitch has accepted our stream. YouTube has accepted our stream. Let's wait for Facebook.
Okay, I'm going to go to the Facebook page.
Okay, Facebook has accepted our stream, so you'll see it.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to go to the bathroom and we can start.
Okay. All right, I am sharing it. I'm tempted to put when Richard gets back from the bathroom on here.
Yeah. Do what?
we we are live and show will start shortly.
Okay.
That they already know because we are on now. People can see us on Facebook.
How do you know, or whoever is there, do they ask questions?
Sometimes people.
And we just watch up here?
Vanessa did something in, it looks like Japanese or something. I don't know.
It's
But-
Korean.
But anyway, oh yeah, could be Korean because she's into K-pop. So I am, Vanessa, I'm sorry that I forgot to send you that poem about the girl in the polka dot dress. I will try to remember, and send it to you in the next day or so. Because you just reminded me of that when I saw you in that dress on Saturday. I'm going to read something today that's about my mother. My mother would have been 103
Oh.
on the 11th of February.
Oh,
And I
okay.
usually post something on Facebook, but I didn't this year because my daughter posted something and I just responded to that. But I want to read this because, just a small tribute. Not that we got along or liked each other. I always tell people, if my mother would have had a Sears catalog with daughters in it, I wouldn't have been the one she picked.
Oh.
And vice versa. So,
we already got comments.
We wouldn't.
Yeah.
We don't normally like to be part of our families because we don't pick them.
yeah, well, it depends. I mean, I know people who have families that they really like, and that's amazing to me.
Yes.
But, all right, so just set the timer and we'll start.
Okay, and I can do it from here.
Okay, cool.
All right, look at the timer.
Where is the timer? Oh, I
Hello, it's Paula, and here we are with whoever holds the stone.
see. Ah.
We're, how many months have we been doing this now? In this variety, maybe 3. So I'm here today, of course, with Richard. Richard is facilitating the show, and Sharon is a new friend who Richard introduced me to, and I am going to be reading something about my mother because it was her birthday on the 11th. She would have been 103. And it's it's double spaced, so it's not that long. It's about, we had a bad snowstorm one year, and nobody could go out. It was at Christmas time, so I don't remember what year it was. I just remember that nobody was able to leave the house. And so on New Year's Day, when the museum is normally closed, because it was the first nice day, the museum stayed open. And, hi, Mick. The museum stayed open, and I wanted to go. And I was running out of the house. I lived upstairs from her. And I'm leaving, and she says, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to the art gallery." And she says, "I'm coming." And I said, "Really?" I said, there's not a lot of, what are you going to do? You don't really like art. She says, "Oh, I want to go, and I want to see it." So I said, okay. So it was an exhibit of Impressionist art. And it was supposed to close, but it didn't close because they couldn't have anybody there over the holidays because of the snow. So I brought my mother. All right. A visit to the Albright Knox. My mother does not have cultural curiosity. She has spent 79 years taking care of her home, her children, and her men. On her own, she would never consider a visit to an art gallery as a form of entertainment. She never wanted to visit Europe or Asia to see the historic sites. Her idea of serious music is Lawrence Welk's rendition of the Blue Danube Waltz. I believe at times that I was planted into my family as some sort of divine practical joke. The gods must be crazy. After my stepfather died and I began incorporating Mom into some of my regular activities, the Albright Knox Art Gallery was having a special exhibit of French art that I wanted to see. Here it was, New Year's Day. The gallery was open and I was on my way out the door. As I was leaving the house, I casually popped my head into my mom's apartment and asked if she'd like to go with me. I actually thought she'd decline. Instead, she said, "Sure, why not? Let me get my shoes." She was suffering with a bad knee, and I gently tried to dissuade her. Wear comfortable shoes. We're going to be doing a lot of walking. She countered with, "Aren't there places to sit down? I thought in a big fancy place like that, there'd be chairs to sit in." I ceased my objections and got into the idea of taking Mom to the art gallery. On the way there, we had the same conversation we've had in the car ever since I was 16 years old. "Slow down. There's a red light. Are your brakes working? Get over in your lane. It looks like you're going to the curb. Do you need money for gas? Aunt Josephine is dying." Again is all that I could muster in the car cluttered with words. Aunt Josephine had been dying of one thing or another for 35 years now. I am quite certain that she will outlive me. We approached the front of the gallery on Elmwood Avenue and the conversation stopped. I left my mother off in the front of the gallery while I parked. As I walked back to the entrance, my mother was in the foyer looking around. When I got inside, she said, "This is it? It's so small." It was then I realized she'd never been there before. I informed her that we were in the foyer. I explained that there were many other rooms and 2 floors of art inside. I bought the tickets, 1 senior and 1 adult. Once you reach a certain age, you can stop being an adult. I look forward to that day. It's happened since then. As we got to the staircase, an attendant directed us to the elevator. No one had ever suggested I use the elevator before. There are advantages to consorting with the elderly. We got up to the 2nd floor with the 20th century art by Pollock and Rothko. She stepped out among these giant paint splotches and looked around up and down incredulously along the expanse of walls over the fine collection of abstract expressionist art. In her loudest dance hall voice, with her casual, in-your-face look, she aimed her question in the direction of the security guard. "This is art?" In hushed voices, I tried to explain that this type of art is not for everyone. I started to give her the last 100 years of art history in 25 seconds. She didn't buy it. And I finally had to admit that I don't like the stuff much myself either. It turns out that the guard agreed with us. We walked through the rooms of portraits of the 18th and 19th century. My mother squinted at the severe-looking woman with the pulled-back hair and asked why anyone would want to paint her picture. I explained portraiture and patrons of the arts, and I told her that the face that she was seeing was probably idealized and that the actual woman was probably much less attractive than how she looked. I explained that through history, the idea, of what beautiful was had changed. And my mother said, all my mother said was, "Poor thing, she can't help it. Maybe if she did something different with her hair." I explained that the model had probably been dead for a couple 100 years. And Mom wondered why anyone would want to see a picture of someone who'd been dead for so long that nobody knew who they were. We shuffled into the exhibit. At the entrance, the attendants handed us a listening wand. I explained how to use it and told my mom it would give her some background information on some of the paintings. I suggested that she try the kids' version, which I assumed would be more entertaining and not as highbrow. When we got into the exhibit, it was packed. Mom looked at me in complete astonishment and exclaimed, "All these people like art? I can't believe it!" On the planet where my mother lives, art is of no consequence. She owns an oil painting that she got at Sears of a young girl playing the piano and a young boy playing the violin. To my mother, this is art. It even has a small light perched on top of the ornate frame. My stepfather bought it for her 30 years ago, and since then it has occupied a prized place in the living room across from the antique bubble-framed photo of my grandparents on their wedding day. In the exhibit, I noticed my mother looked more at the people looking at the art than at the actual art itself. She marched past most of the paintings and listened to a few of the highfalutin descriptions of the work on her wand. When I sat down next to her on the wide wooden bench, she asked me, this time in a softer voice reserved for funerals and church, if everyone here was smart. I looked around and made my quick analysis. At something, I suppose. We're all smart at something. If I had to examine the source of that thought, no doubt it would be what I had learned from my parents. If I had responded based on my cynical social persona, the answer would have been quite different. Personally, I was thrilled that there were so many people at the Albright Knox looking at art and not at home in front of the television trying to squeeze the last lifeblood out of the football season. I was happy to be in a setting where so much talent and brilliance could be absorbed from people who are long gone but not forgotten. And I was really glad my mom decided to tag along. There's nothing like a little breeze from your own garden to help you keep your head up there in the rarefied air of Artland. Happy birthday, Mama! Wherever your molecules may be.
I like that.
Yeah. I was listening to something today about the energy that is in your body and where it comes from and where it goes. It was a physicist, and I thought about my mother floating around these molecules in the atmosphere. You know, I just thought it was an interesting idea.
It's true.
Yeah, it's of course. You know, it doesn't go anywhere. Energy exists. It just changes into something else. I'm not
I
worried.
like you already.
Yeah. Well, good. That's a good thing. I might have to kick you off if you did. No, I wouldn't do that. You know
well,
what?
you said you're cynical.
There's something you need to know. If everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong.
Oh, believe me, I'm way past that.
Yeah, because if everybody, you know, no one's going to. Not everyone's going to like you. I mean, you there's certain people who will be attracted to your kind of personality, and other people who won't. I mean, you can't do that. You can't.
Why would you want to?
Right. Speaking of not liking everybody and how I've been working on certain people that I've had problems with in the past, did you know, you didn't know because I just found this out today, Greg's father's mother. So Greg's father's mother. So great-grandmother.
Who's Greg?
My husband.
Oh.
So Greg's, her maiden name was Monaco. So I'd be very interested in knowing how that I don't know. I mean, are all the Monacos related? That would be another question. She's a Buffalo Monaco. We have a friend whose last name is Monaco, and I've had social problems with him in the past, but I've lightened up.
Maybe are you holding the stone, by the way?
No.
Oh, so that means I can talk
No.
freely?
Yeah, no, we don't really hold. It's
No, I mean,
metaphorical. Yes, go ahead.
no, I would like to be.
You'd like to hold it?
I would like to be granted the stone
Okay.
while I'm talking.
Sure.
It's a
And make it-
critical part of the experience.
Okay, do it.
That I would encourage you to continue on in the future,
Yeah.
in the home of the future.
In the home of the future. Okay, go ahead.
I'm waiting for it to warm up.
Ah.
So I guess my comment about Monaco just was a flash. I didn't mean to blurt out, but I typically do that a lot. And I'm writing down some notes here because a lot of thoughts were popping into my head listening to you speak. And rather than discuss my comment about what popped into my head, I really want to say in general something about your, I would say, talent to be a very, I have to find a word, more than creative, exquisite and eloquently stated writer.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
I could envision that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your intention?
Well, yeah, I think that mostly I started out writing poetry. So I think visual. First of all, I don't remember anything unless it's visual. I have a visual memory. So for me, I couldn't possibly write in any other way because my memory is all visual.
But I guess my question is even though you have what you believe is visual memory, how are you able to apply the words to this visual experience you had?
That's a good question. I choose I love words. I have a
Okay. Okay.
I have a big vocabulary, and I will use a
Okay.
thesaurus when I need one.
Okay. Well, that says a
Yeah.
lot. That says a
Yeah,
lot. That's-
and I think that being being I love to read. Are you a reader?
of many things, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I read novels
Yeah.
like most people who are brilliant, who do, and I can sense that about you. I'm more experiential
Mm-hmm.
as an individual, and I think I get distracted too much by the environment,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's my own or anywhere else, and I have a hard time staying focused, reading a full book.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have done it, but I resisted all through my education, and that didn't serve me very well.
It sounds familiar because I think that people that liked books when we were going to school from our neighborhood, from our blue collar neighborhood, you grew up in this neighborhood. I grew up in Lovejoy. So in those
Same.
neighborhoods,
Yeah.
it was not valued. Reading was not valued.
No, I wouldn't agree.
You would because in my neighborhood, if you read a book, you were a nerd.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my experience.
I would have read if there were books around me in my environment.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't
Mm-hmm.
in my home.
Yeah.
There were two books. Two books.
I want you to tell me what they were because
I will.
Okay.
I will, because I think it's really amazing to me now when I think about it. One was Webster's Dictionary,
Okay.
and the other was the Bible.
Okay.
And those were the only two books in my house.
Yeah. So that in that way, I think that I feel that my parents did not encourage me to read because we didn't have books in the house either. None of my friends had books in the
No,
house
same
either.
with me.
It was all magazines or newspapers.
Oh, we didn't even have magazines because we didn't have money to
Yeah.
buy magazines,
So,
let alone books.
I was we also had a beautiful Bible. I don't know, it was a gorgeous Bible
nice.
with a leather cover,
Oh.
and we also had. But my father, I was. If you were going to say this, I was going to die.
What?
My father had a book in the closet because
Yes.
he used to like to do. He used to like to do gardening, and it was called Manure and Manuring. And
Well,
if
I mean,
you-
I almost wanted to.
if you would have said manure,
No, I thought it was going to be some other kind of book in the
No,
closet.
no,
So
if
I
you would have
wasn't
said-
sure I wanted to hear it, but okay.
I just had this weird feeling that you were going to say manure and manuring, and I was going to just fall out.
Wait a minute. Why would I say that?
I don't know. That's why because when you said there were only two books, it
Oh,
reminded me of my story and my father's two
okay.
books.
Oh, well, see,
Not East of Eden, the Klaus book. It's about whole foods and herbs and stuff, and I can't remember what the
the
name
first
of it
one
was.
you mean that ever was published?
Well, not the first one. I mean, there were ones published in the in the
Oh.
15th century. But
Oh,
this,
no, I'm talking about from the 60s.
yeah, that there was one. But no, this is before the 60s because
Yeah.
my dad died in the 60s. But
Oh.
he had an old copy of
Oh.
this herbal book.
Oh. Do you
So
still have it?
um, I I may. I've got a lot of books.
Can you, I
Yeah.
mean, would you mind
No,
looking?
it's still in print. Yeah.
No, I mean, just, very curious to
Yeah.
know what the title is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe if you come across it in your home,
Yeah. If I do,
let me know
I
and
do think
text it to
I
me.
kept a copy of it because it was. I didn't keep that copy, but I have a copy of it. It's just an herbal book. But he believed in herbal medicine, but he also died at 48. So
Oh.
it didn't work for him. He had other
Sure.
smoking, heart disease, that
Of
kind of
course.
stuff. But so I appreciate your kind words about my writing. I enjoy writing, and I'm it's therapy for me. We were
Oh,
talking.
I'm
Yeah,
inspired by it.
yeah. We were talking about therapy. For me, it's therapy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Working those things out.
Well, I'm a big believer in applying creative energy as a therapeutic modality for personal healing.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of on a mission now in life. It just occurred. It's something I decided that it seems to be present around me, the energy, the creative energy, and it's something I had wanted for my whole life. I had originally, as a child, been very creative, and then that ambition was squelched by my father because I had an opportunity to go to the University of Buffalo for a summer semester after I finished seventh grade. Was it? Yeah, seventh grade for art school at UB as a seventh grader.
Wow.
And I said, Dad, I can do this. I can take the bus, NFT, it's 10 cents. I can go there and come back, and all you have to do is sign off on it. No. No way. You're not turning into one of those hippies. Not my daughter.
Yeah.
You're not going. That
Yeah.
was my first big, devastating limit that my father ever put on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to let it go. What?
That's it. That's the name of the book. It's
Oh,
Jethro Kloss, Back to Eden.
yes. All right, I've
So
heard
that
of
was
it.
my father did have this book and in the closet, hiding it like it was some kind of bad thing in the closet, books in the closet. so so yeah, I can sympathize with that. My father, I think my father was a very creative person,
Ah, okay.
and I think my father suffered for it because he he didn't fit in with the mainstream of his family, and he tried to not so much beat it out of me, but discipline it out of me so I wouldn't
Discipline what out of you?
my creativity, because
At what age?
he died when I was 8. So he tried to get me to, like, storytelling was lying, and any kind of create anything, doing artwork was wasting time, and
I never heard of such a mindset of a parent
well,
toward a
because
child.
my father was a very old school guy. He was just not, he would, and he, I think, suffered for his creativity. He used to play he had musical instruments up in the attic that he never played anymore because
So he was a repressed creative.
Right, exactly. And he felt that it didn't do him any good in his life. So he tried to get me to stop thinking like that. Don't be so fanciful. That's baloney. You shouldn't think like that. So, I didn't listen.
I mean, I understand where your father was coming from during
Yeah,
that era
yeah.
because back then, if you went down that road, there was no guarantee you would be able to provide for yourself, have any
Well,
financial
He
stability.
would never think that was going to provide for myself. I was a woman. I would be married, and
Oh.
my husband would
Oh, no.
provide
Well,
for me.
not
Yeah.
necessarily.
But that's what my mother and father thought.
What?
That I would be married and my husband would take care of me. There was no other. My mother wanted me to go to college so I could meet somebody with money
Yeah, well,
to take
yeah,
care
I
of
guess
me.
some parents did think that way,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah.
wasn't my
Well,
experience.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That in our generation, that was rare.
Yeah, I have to say that it probably contributed to my current state of lifestyle,
Hmm.
which I'm very content with.
Yeah.
And oh, I'm not glad what I went through to become this, but it was a process and it wasn't easy and it was painful and difficult. However, it did give me this time that I can enjoy right now in my life,
Yeah.
being independent and capable.
Yeah. I think that, women now have a much more, they have a better sense of what they can do and what they can accomplish. And I'm happy. I'm happy that it's going in that direction.
That brings a question to me that I love to ask people, but I know I might be digressing, in different ways.
Yeah, well, it's okay. The show is free
Okay,
form.
all right.
Yeah.
So, my question is, what do you think contributed to women nowadays being capable of being more empowered and independent, uh, financially successful?
Well, of course, the women's movement had a lot to do with that. I don't necessarily think it was everything. I think that mothers started raising their, of course, not the men that are in my generation, but mothers started raising their boys differently to be different toward women and have.
Wait, I have to stop you right there. When was that? Because that's not my experience.
Oh, no,
at
no,
all.
no, not in our generation. Certainly not. But women started at some point. I used to tell people my ideal husband is 20 years younger than me because those are boys being raised by women my age.
52?
Well, I mean, I married somebody younger than me, and
No, I'm just
yeah.
saying that would be 52.
Yeah, well, right. So
Little give
those
or take.
the men that were raised by women my age who were forward thinking have a better chance of being sensitive, emotional, and able to bond with women, and in a different category than the men that were raised when I was growing up, when they were told they could do whatever the hell they wanted to, while I couldn't. In those days, boys could do whatever they wanted without repercussions, even if they got a girl pregnant.
I disagree, but go on.
Yeah. Well, that's my experience. But anyway, so I think they're and women are raising their daughters differently. Men are taking more interest in their daughters as human beings instead of just somebody.
It depends.
Of course, it depends. But
Depends
I'm saying
on a lot. Of
I'm saying
different
that
factors.
that women are, and they're not accepting the status quo anymore. They just want to do something that's
So,
fulfilling.
I'm going to take us back to my original question.
Yeah.
What is it that you think was the caveat, turning point, critical factor?
I believe it's just the societal changes.
I'm not going to tell you the answer.
Well, if you think
No, I mean it because it is so essential. And until the world becomes more conscious of it, it will never be heard and understood. And it doesn't come from a sentence that I can blurt out right now.
Well,
Literally.
I mean, if you have a piece of information that
Well,
you
I'm gonna guide you toward it. Maybe another conversation
Yeah.
after the show,
Yeah,
whatever.
okay, if you have something to add to the conversation,
Okay.
I would like to hear what you have to say.
Well, right now I think this is a dynamic between you and I
Yeah.
that
Okay.
we can have a discussion about later because I think we can ask the viewers if they know. I'd be interested. Does anyone out there
well,
have it?
Mick is saying that his daughters are his princesses, and I protect them with.
Oh
my
well, people are
yeah.
responding to what we're talking
Well,
about.
and Mick, I do appreciate that, but do you also want them to have fulfilling lives
Oh, I love this.
without
This is a hot stove now.
without just being protected? I mean, yes, I can understand where you're coming from, but I could also say that
Let's see if I can read this.
sometimes in order for us to grow, we have to protect ourselves. You know, and be able to at least. Okay, Vanessa. Don't listen, Mick.
Wait a
don't
minute.
listen.
Wait a minute. You're
Yeah.
reacting to
Yeah.
Vanessa right now?
Yeah, well,
The same person.
it's a she has a Charlie is one of her names that she uses online. So
Wait.
and it's on the big screen over there. That's what you can the big screen, not that little stuff. I can't read that little stuff. That big screen over there.
I can read that little stuff.
They can kick. Yes, thank you, Mick. That's a good thing. You have to be able to protect
Well, you
yourself.
personally know these people. I thought maybe they were just.
No, these are people that do shows here. They have their own
so
shows.
your audience are people you know, not people that fall upon this.
Yeah, sometimes they're people we don't know. There'll be somebody that will comment. That's not as
Oh, well, so you all know each other, so that's kind of,
Well,
that's not. To me, I mean, when you know people, you can have conversations with them anytime. But here we are live, and how many people are watching us, and where are they from?
There's not that. I don't think there's that many people watching it, and I don't do it necessarily for the audience. I do it because I enjoy spending the time with Richard, and I enjoy having people like you on as a guest.
Okay.
People I've never talked to before,
Okay.
and then I
Oh,
think
okay.
sometimes people will tune in.
What
and,
is the name of this show, by the way?
whoever holds the stone, you've got the stone. But we're
Okay,
having a
I'm
conversation.
giving it back to you.
Yeah. So I think that unless we're going to go into what your opinion is on women, why women are at this new place in society. I
Well,
guess
we excuse me, I don't have the stone.
yeah, but we don't really do that. You can do it if it makes you comfortable, but we really don't pass the stone back and forth.
Well, that's okay.
It's
All
just
right.
it's the name of the show, but it's not it's not etched in stone. It's the name, yeah. But so
Well, then I'm disappointed because it's not serving its purpose.
well, I'm sorry that you're disappointed.
Yeah.
I didn't. That was not intentional, but we do this mostly because we like to have a conversation where there's no interruptions. And so that's really why we named it that. It was more for the interruptions than the actual holding on to the stone. But I mean, we haven't said, we've gone halfway through the show. We haven't even talked about one of your things yet. What do you have on your list that you want to talk about?
Well, I sent it to you.
I did.
Did anything strike your fancy?
I did look at it. I didn't necessarily there was nothing that I saw that I just jumped on, but I'm going to look at it again. What is this Thomas Ligotti quote?
Thomas Ligotti. Okay, he's an author who wrote horror,
Okay.
and he developed a following in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. He just died a little while ago.
Okay.
And so he developed such a strong following because of the ideas that are contained in his work. All right, even though
Yeah.
it's horror,
Yeah.
it's also philosophy.
Mm.
So when they made this TV series it was an HBO series, you could tell that they infused.
Vanessa's saying your mic is really low. I don't know if that's something you have to adjust at the.
Oh, okay. Let me go fix it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Vanessa.
Oh, it's good to have feedback. See.
Yeah. Tom has some kind of viral infection, so Tom isn't here today to facilitate.
You're reading something?
Yeah. Vanessa asked where Tom is the engineer generally, but Tom isn't here today because he's sick.
Okay, you should be able to hear me much
Oh,
clearer.
yes, very
Yeah.
good. Okay.
So anyway, so Ligotti's, after the HBO series came out, True Detective,
his following got even bigger.
Oh, that he was responsible for that. That.
They used his ideas without giving him credit.
Oh, really?
Isn't that something?
That's
They
pretty.
used his ideas without giving him credit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he wrote a book that had nothing to do with horror, nothing to do with his storytelling abilities, just his philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Oh, here. Shoot, it's not working. Okay. So it's called The Conspiracy Against the Human Race.
Okay.
And and he spilled all his ideas out. So I've been reading people's commentaries on him on YouTube,
Okay.
because there's no shortage of commentaries. And I came up with this one quote. I wanted to run it past you and see what you said about it.
Okay.
I just have to find it. Ligotti. Okay. When the struggle to extract meaning from a meaningless world finally breaks you, and instead of rebuilding, you sit inside the ruins, quiet, still, and awake. Then you are liberated.
Say that again, please.
When the struggle to extract meaning from a meaningless world finally breaks you, and instead of rebuilding, you sit inside the ruins, quiet, still, and awake. Then you have liberation.
Because
I misheard that last word, and I'm glad you read it a second time. Yeah, I can see where, well, because we've talked about this so many times, we make
Yeah.
our own meaning, you know,
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
you are looking for meaning outside of yourself, it's a futile search.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, once you, that's what I told Greg years ago. Once you figure out life is supposed to be difficult and you know, mind melting, it seems easier because you know you're doing it right. You know, but in this case, you're liberated because you can start building your own meaning. Right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I'm reading it or listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that quote. That
Okay.
came from the book.
Yeah. That's from his philosophy book.
sounds like the Bible.
Well, a lot of people interpret the book of Job that way.
Yeah. Do you have something that you wanted to say about
No,
that
no,
particular
it's just-
quote? Yeah.
No.
And you were talking about, was it Ecclesiastes?
Oh, yeah, I love
And you
that.
said that it has a similar thing about the search for meaning.
Ecclesiastes is the first what is it, the nihilist writing because they're saying it's all meaningless, it's all ashes or whatever. However, there's different ways of
Yeah.
translating it in different Bibles, but everything is meaningless, and that's what it says. And then of course at the end it brings God into the picture, you know, unless you're worshiping God, blah blah blah. But it's like 3 sentences at
Yeah.
the end.
Right.
So yeah, I love that's my favorite book.
What's the name of the book?
Ecclesiastes.
How do you spell it?
Oh geez. I can look that
Yeah,
up. I'm
I-
a terrible speller.
No, I never
Sharon.
heard it. I never heard it.
Yeah, it's part of the Old Testament, and
Well,
it's, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that shows you what I don't know.
Well, were you raised Catholic?
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't want us to read the Bible.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I guess I did and didn't know it.
Ecclesiastes.
Maybe I forgot it.
Okay, that's how you spell it, hon. Right there.
Oh, okay. Now I recognize the word.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess I never heard it pronounced.
yeah, yeah.
ECC for the rest of the world.
Our friend
ECCLAS.
Lori is watching.
Hi,
Yeah.
Lori.
She alerted us that the clock somehow stopped.
Oh,
So
Oh.
I'm timing it on my own.
Oh.
Maybe when you went you got up and you changed
That
something.
could have been it.
Thank
yeah.
you, Lori. You know, we need you. But yes, yeah.
Oh,
Turn. Yes,
that from the book?
yes. That's from
Oh
the.
man,
What is
Yeah,
from the book?
that song
to
by
every season, turn.
Yeah, what about it?
They
It's
took
from
that right from-
Ecclesiastic. It's
Really?
It is written. It's
Really?
It's word for word
Oh
from
my
the
God!
from
oh
the
my
book.
God. See,
Yeah.
and I'm even saying, "Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!"
Yeah. So
I had no idea.
yeah.
So I think some people, that are into that song, maybe they identified with that more than I realized because they kind of portrayed this different aura of awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it is a deep song. You know, it is something that when you hear it, it's certainly not dance or dancing in the streets. You know, it's got a more profound. I mean, it's biblical. You know, I mean, I don't think that's the only song. There's another. I think there's a Joni Mitchell song too that takes. Oh, yeah, it does. The Joni Mitchell song. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's.
Well, she's saying, I look at life from both sides now.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Not that one?
It's not that one. She talk. I'll have to look that up and tell you what it is next week because
No,
I
it might
don't
come
have
to
it.
me because
I don't have it in the.
Yeah, what's the song about?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So it's. I think it might come from Ecclesiastes too, and I can't grab it right now because I'm
Tune, you can't.
I'm trying. No, there's,
Oh.
her tunes are. It's hard. A lot of her stuff is almost tuneless. It's just like poetry.
It is.
Yeah, set to music, and it's But yeah, if you look up Joni Mitchell song that uses Bible verses, maybe that would bring it up. I bet you it would. I'll look. Okay, so Joni Mitchell song that uses Bible verse.
Oh, she did a song called Job's Sad Song. And she did one called Love.
Love. It's a direct adaptation of 1 Corinthians.
Oh.
Love suffers long. Love is kind. Love never looks for love.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the name of the song. I would have never been able to come up with that.
She did that in the 80s when she was in her jazz phase.
Yeah.
What was the name of the song?
It's
Love.
called Love. It's from her 1982 album, Wild Things Run Fast.
Do you know what is the tune, or can you find it on online as to kind of little?
Well,
like
yeah,
a-
well, I'll play it after the show. I'll play it for you because it won't really.
No,
Yeah.
I am familiar with all of Joni Mitchell's work.
Mm-hmm.
I collected her albums. I was a huge fan of hers, but unfortunately, my cognitive abilities to put people's work and names together in the moment, I struggle with. But
yeah.
it's in my head, and I know it's there.
Yeah,
I
it's,
just need
it
a few
doesn't have
tunes.
It doesn't really have a very pronounced melody. It's almost like she's fitting a melody to the words as she sings it. And I'll play it for you. It's a beautiful song. I'll play it for you when we're done with the show.
Oh, how would the listeners like to hear that?
Yeah,
tune
you
by
won't
right
you
now?
won't be able to hear it though unless
Yeah, Facebook will turn the sound down.
yeah, you can't play a song like that on Facebook because it's the copyright laws.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks
Yeah.
for that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have known or even
So,
thought
yeah,
of that.
so-
Okay, I
so
got you. I
we're-
got you. All
But
right, all right, all right.
yeah, so that, and I'm sure there's other songs too that go. Some of the, like I said, it's a dark. The Old Testament's pretty dark, but
Well, maybe I
but
should read it then.
Ecclesiastes is really that's if you're going to read the Old Testament, start with that.
All right.
You'll love it. It's beautifully written, and it's I don't even know. They don't even really know who wrote these things. They just they attribute them to somebody.
Is that true?
Right.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
anyway, that was good. So did you come across anything else that this guy wrote that was as good as that quote?
No, that was the one that really leapt out at me.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was
Leapt out. I like that.
Yeah, so let's see what else is on your list here. Richard's list. Da, da, da. We already covered some of these. Typical poetry voice. I'm interested in that.
Okay. Article in the New York Times
Uh-huh.
said, what is it with that voice that a lot of people automatically assume when they read a poem?
Oh, the cadence.
I don't know if you've ever heard it when you're listening.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, you've
Yeah,
heard it, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I worked really hard when to not do that when I'm reading. The thing is, for a long time I struggled with it's my poem. What is it supposed to sound like? And I realized at one point I said, wait a minute, it's my poem. I know what it sounds like. But there is a tendency to want to, like do that wave, that sound wave to
Cadence. It's called
yeah,
cadence.
cadence, that definitely. And so there's a tendency for people to want it to sound like poetry instead of reading it the way it reads.
Here's what the Times put in the article. Good poets exploit a musicality the same way that good rappers do, favoring one word over another for the way it interacts with all the other words. But average poets, unlike rappers, are not generally performers. They're
Yeah.
writers first.
Yeah.
And it shows when they recite their work for an audience. Rather than trusting the music of their language to sing for itself,
That's a good
they
way to
try
put
to
it.
impose an outside music on
That's
it.
exactly what I was trying to say. You're right.
They said, picture somebody performing Handel's Messiah to the tune of Old MacDonald.
I'm going to be thinking about that and trying to do it.
Can I ask a question? Who is they?
The New York Times,
Oh,
the-
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
They,
or the
but-
The writer of the editorial in the New York Times.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and people that, okay. So, when you're reading somebody else's poem, like out loud, there's a tendency to want to do this thing. And I mean, if I had a poem in front of me, I could do it. Like,
well, how about Casey at the Bat?
That's funny. My mother. That's the song my mother. I mean, the poem my mother read at the when I was doing poetry, April Poetry Month. Casey at the Bat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that.
What?
Wait, I'm trying to think of the like that one about the trees.
Joyce Kilmer.
Joyce Kilmer.
Yeah.
You da 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 da. You tend to make it sing-songy, even though you don't need to, because in the poem there is a rhythm of its own, like they
Yeah.
said. And so the people that read it that aren't used to reading poetry, they'll end up doing that. And it took me a while to figure that out, because I was guilty of that.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. I don't think.
Well, there's my experience in reading poetry came from grade school.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're talking about in this cadence way of speaking when reading poetry, it was emphasized in school to accentuate these variations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? Being taught that?
Well, I don't remember too much poetry from grade school. I remember in high school we had some poetry, but in grade school,
I mean, like, say, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade.
yeah.
Well, you went to Catholic school, so they didn't
yeah,
do that
yeah,
there.
we probably didn't.
I went to public
Yeah.
grade school. I went to Catholic grades, or Catholic St. Bernard's, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. And the other kids in the neighborhood, because this is right on the city line, Shanley.
Yeah.
Cochrane is split in half. Half of Cochrane is Buffalo City, and the other half of Cochrane is Cheektowaga. So I could go to either school, or Catholic school or public school. And after I got to know kids who went to the public school in this neighborhood, in these, I don't know how many blocks there are, 5 or 6 blocks between Cochran and Rossler. All those kids were having a blast in school.
Mm-hmm.
The gymnasium, the trampoline, the high beam. The gymnasium just blew my mind, and all the equipment that we could participate in compared to the basement of St. Bernard's.
I know, we had a
Okay.
basement too.
Yeah.
We used to go to the community center, the
The neighborhood house?
Hennepin Park Community Center in
Oh,
Lovejoy. Yeah.
right. So like
And-
here it
But
was,
we had to walk. We had to
Right.
walk like 4 blocks, 5 blocks to go to the gym.
and the same with like on Clinton Street here, the library.
Yeah.
That provided all that stuff in this neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
that no longer exists, by the way.
What, the library?
Right.
The library's still there.
You're thinking
Across-
of the new one. She's thinking of the old one.
Okay. I didn't know there was an old one.
Excuse me. Across the street from the Strand movie house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you remember Strand?
No, I don't remember that. We had a Lovejoy movie
Oh.
theater in our
Oh,
neighborhood.
see, every neighborhood had its own
Yeah.
movie theater. That's another what do you want to call it? Disappearing tradition.
Yeah. Well, movie theaters in general. Even when you go to the movies now, there's hardly anybody in there.
People are afraid to go now.
I don't know if it's very expensive, and you can watch anything you
Well,
want at
yeah,
home.
technology has really made it.
And people have huge televisions. They don't just have little televisions
Right.
anymore. They have, as big like this,
Well-
or bigger.
I have one that's 85 inches.
Wow, that's a movie theater.
Yeah, I love it. I did that intentionally because I love movies, and I'm about as far away from it as these screens, and it's like up close and personal. It's a blast, and it doesn't cost that much compared to like say 5 years ago.
Yeah, they've gone down in price definitely.
Something that size would be $2,500. Now it's $750.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my daughter has a huge TV like that. When I go to her house to watch my grandkids, it's like a movie theater.
Yeah.
Mm.
So back to our philosophical.
Yeah, so we're talking about the poetry, the voice of the poet.
Right, right.
Yeah, I love that he described it. Is it he described it perfectly? Because I was trying to put that into words of, putting that extra layer of music on top, even though it has its own music when you're reading it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's hard to learn how to read that stuff out loud.
Maybe that's why they taught it in grade school.
Yeah.
Because I had to memorize Casey at the Bat. That's why I said that.
Oh.
On stage.
Yeah. Oh, must have been scary for you as a little kid.
No,
Yeah.
no. It was just like an assignment, part of the
Yeah.
educational process.
Yeah.
Everybody was required to do that.
Yeah. Did you ever have to do anything on stage when you were a kid?
What does that mean?
On stage, like, did you ever have
Perform.
to recite
Oh.
anything
Or participate in a
sing?
play or
No,
do a
I never
theatrical.
did. Never did.
Where
Not
did
even singing in chorus or something?
Where did you go to grade school?
Bernard's.
St. Bernard's.
St. Bernard's, St. Bernard's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good to meet you.
Bernard's. Bernard's.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
I tap danced once.
Wait, no, really?
Yeah, I was so out of sync with everybody else. I tap danced to
Oh.
the beat of my own drummer.
Yeah, okay.
And that I think that was the end of my career on stage in grade school. And it was in the basement. It was in the basement at St. Agnes, and there was a little stage there, and they set up some folding chairs, and that was our gym. I mean our auditorium. So how much time do we have left, Richard?
13 minutes.
Oh, my.
Oh, so we got plenty of time. Why don't you pick one?
How about you, Sharon? Did you see one that intrigued you?
Oh, let's see, the spinal surgery, my background, and I guess I could get into it, but I think I'm going to just bypass because,
All right, you want me to pick one?
Yeah, sure.
no,
Oh,
no, I'll pick one. But I am drawn to that one. Let me see. How about the Rocky statue?
Okay, so in the movie from the 1970s, Rocky,
Yeah.
if you ever saw it,
Yes, I did.
every day he does training.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he punches and he lifts and then he goes on a run.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the run,
Yeah.
he decides I'm going to try to run up the stairs to the art museum because there's so many stairs, and he can't do it. Then the next day he gets a little higher.
Oh.
Next day he gets a little higher,
Okay.
and then finally,
Oh.
near the end of the movie, he makes it to the top. He goes like this.
All right.
Like he's achieved something phenomenal.
Well, he did doing
So
that way.
that made that art gallery famous.
Yes.
And the people at the art gallery finally got around to thinking, why don't we capitalize on that fame? We'll put a statue of him with his hands raised.
Yeah.
And so they did. Little did they know it would cause a problem. People who visited the art gallery tried copying.
Oh.
Somebody call an ambulance.
Oh my God.
They had to call a number of rescue squads in as a result.
So they just needed to post a sign
So what
to
they did,
eliminate their liability.
they said, well, maybe it's the fact that the statue's at the top.
Oh.
Let's put the statue at the bottom. So they did, and then people were
Oh.
posing with the
Yeah.
statue at the bottom.
Oh.
But as time went on, it didn't solve the problem
Oh.
because people still
Ah.
wanted to imitate the movie and see if they could do what.
Yeah.
So we still had the same problem, grabbing the chest and everything.
Yeah.
So the lawmakers this year said, all right, let's just admit we made a mistake by moving the statue. And let's put it back on top so that when you drive by on the freeway and there's
you
the
can see
Rocky
it, yeah.
statue. Let's go visit that. And we'll get more. Do you think that was a bad idea? Should they have left it at the bottom?
I like you said, they were doing it anyway. They were
Yeah.
running up, but I love that museum. That museum is one of the best museums. They've got a whole. Marcel Duchamp donated his whole collection to that museum. They have a whole transported monastery courtyard.
Oh,
In
from
that-
the Middle Ages?
I don't know what period it was from, but it's an old one that was probably from destroyed during the war or something,
I see.
and they rebuilt it in the museum. They've got beautiful
And can you walk
Buddhist,
in this courtyard?
Yes, they've got Buddhist art. They've got so much stuff. It's one of my favorite museums. I love it. I love it there. It's a good reason to go to Philadelphia, and along with the Italian market. The Italian market is always
Is that where you buy food?
you can buy food too, and it's a really an Italian market, a street market. It's really nice. It's fun to go through, except there's some, sometimes there's dead animals hanging, which is not fun.
Really?
Yeah, like pigs and stuff. Yeah.
How?
Yeah, but that's
It's food. Yeah, it's food for most people, not everyone. But yeah.
But when were you there to see the dead animals hanging in the market? By the way, because I doubt that they still are able to.
Yeah,
do that.
I don't know. I went. I mean, I know when I went. I went in the first time. The time that I actually explored is when I went with Gloria, and we went together. And
Is that in the 90s?
it had to be in the 90s. Yeah, it had to be in the early 90s. But I've been back there with Greg when we left in 2008. But I don't remember going to. No, it was winter, so we didn't go to the market. We just went to the museum. But the museum is great. Yeah, it's really fascinating. But the Marcel Duchamp stuff is the best. They've.
That must be where you became a fan.
No, I became a fan when I was taking art history. Art between World War I and World War II. Okay, and we learned about Marcel Duchamp, and I saw his art, and I said, this guy is a charlatan, and I think I'm going to write my paper about him and prove that he's a charlatan.
Oh.
And the more research I did, the more I fell in love with this guy. I just loved him I changed my whole premise. I went from trying to prove that he was just a fraud to, understanding what he was doing and his sense of humor and his joy in creating and bucking the system, you know. So that's when I got to know him when I was at UB. But after that, and when it was like almost like a pilgrimage to go. Oh, I remember. Kenny's grandmother lived in Philadelphia, and that was the first time I saw it. So we went to Philadelphia to visit his grandmother, and we went to that museum, and I was so excited to see all that stuff. It was just
Did you see the Duchamp that's between two panes of glass?
a large glass, The Bride and the Bachelor Even, it's called. And the best story about that is he'd been working on it for many years, and he kept saying it wasn't done, it's not done, it can't be displayed, it's not finished. And finally, some art gallery, convinced him to let people see it as it was before it was finished. So he shipped it to this art gallery, and when it got there, the glass was broken. And when he saw the glass broken, he said, "At last, it's finished." That was his. He was very charming. He was a very charming man. And so, yeah, I wish I don't know if I don't think I saved a lot of my papers from college, and
Yes.
I don't know what happened to them. I think my mother must have thought, "What's all this garbage paper in the attic?" and threw everything out, which is fine. You know, it wasn't on computer like it is now, when you can just print off another copy.
Those are treasured documents, in my opinion.
Yeah,
What we wrote and how we wrote it and
Yeah.
created it. I mean, the typing and carbon paper. Remember?
Yes,
Carbon
of
paper?
course. Yeah, so I remember that was how you made a copy. Otherwise,
Yep.
there was only one copy.
So all this because of the Rocky statue. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to talk to tell people if they have a chance, if they're ever in Philadelphia, go see this museum. It's great.
I did my Rocky pilgrimage
Did you?
to the statue
Yeah.
in the
Did you-
early 90s.
You didn't try to run up the
Oh,
stairs,
yes.
so.
Oh, yes.
Did you succeed?
Oh, yes.
Wow, pretty good.
Well, you must have been in really good shape because
I always
there's a
was.
lot. There's
I
a-
always was.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Very athletic up until lots of things.
Yeah.
On and off, on and off.
Yeah, I know.
But I always go back to being strong physically.
Yeah, it's important to be physically strong. We've talked about this. You have to keep if you don't use your muscles, they atrophy. Same thing with your brain. If you don't use your brain, it atrophies. You know, you got to use both.
I'm not sure about that, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah. Well, you know, you know, if you get something like Alzheimer's, there's not a lot you can do. you
Wait a
know.
minute. You just hit on a real hot topic for me.
Do you have? You don't
Her
have.
father had it.
Oh, your father. Yeah. It's something that just happens, and then.
No, it's not true.
Well, what do you mean by that?
We'll have to put it on one of the lists sometimes. It's very, very involved type of long-term, slow, progressive, degenerative neurological disease that they now know can be tested in the blood. So it's not unknown.
Right.
And I was involved with the research for 10 years with the University of Washington at the Alzheimer's Disease Research Center in Seattle. And yeah, that everything that we know now about Alzheimer's disease and aging and dementia, I was part of that pioneering effort in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, my sister has it, and she's degenerating.
How old is she?
She's 81.
How as you say, degenerating?
Her memory is.
Whoa. Has it been evaluated by a medical?
Yes. She had her blood tested, and
For the
for
markers?
for Alzheimer's. She has Alzheimer's. Yes.
not just like to rule out other medical causes.
No, they were testing because she was having memory failure, so she
Right.
was
So
tested
here's
for Alzheimer's.
here's the standard protocol.
Yeah.
Okay. When a person is having memory problems, and they go to their primary care provider may or may not rule out other medical causes, which there's a whole litany of at least a dozen things that can cause memory problems in aging.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, that has to get ruled out completely.
And yes, it was.
So it sounds
yes,
like-
she has
oh.
Alzheimer's. So the thing is, no one else in our family has had it. But then again,
They didn't live that long.
right? I was going to say my father died early, and we don't.
How old was he?
48.
Oh,
So
that's right. But he died of some cardiac thing? or-
I always thought he died of a heart attack, but my sister recently told me that he had a stroke while he was sleeping. So I don't
be.
I thought it was because there's a lot of heart disease in our family. So I always
that's
assumed,
extremely, extremely too young for the era that he came from to have that.
He smoked
be.
3 packs of cigarettes a day,
All right.
and
okay.
he also ate bacon every morning. So that's
Well, the reason I'm sort of alarmed because I know so much about its origins, and I will just say this in a blanket comment. There's a Volga River region in Russia, and all the descendants in that area have been known to have the actual Alzheimer's gene. And I worked with the professor in Seattle, Washington. I know that he's not practicing now because it was so long ago. But back then, it was a time when it was
Oh.
determined. How many,
Right, we-
what, 54 seconds left?
Yeah, that's all we
Never
have
mind.
left. Well, I'm interested in this. We can maybe talk about this another time. But thank you,
All right.
everybody, for showing up. And I don't know what the heck you said, Vanessa, with all that Korean stuff, but thank you for participating
I love it.
in our little small circle world here.
Good show. What did they say?
But
All right.
and Richard, thank you so much for facilitating and also engineering. And Sharon, it was great having you on the show.
Thank you. I love how they spelled my name, or whoever is AI spelling my name, CHAE.
No, Vanessa does that. She does this weird.
No, I love it.
Weird phonetic spelling.
No, I'm gonna copy that because I wanna embrace that.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, and
Sharon.
we've got 5 seconds left.
Okay,
I'm happy. There was a great show. Thank you.
you're welcome.